I think, Andrea, you're muted if you were saying something.
I was muted so that I wouldn't get feedback as I started it, like I do at every one of the ones I've been doing
Oh,
all this time. So
okay.
I was
Gotcha, girl.
trying to make sure that I didn't do that again at the top and have to edit it. So
Awesome. Gotcha.
good evening, everyone in South Africa and Lesotho. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are in the right place if you're here to get started. We are going to, since we're now live on YouTube, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to sit here and ably assist Leanne and Ketsia in getting everyone started and put my 2 cents in when it's necessary, and I'll let people in the door. So, with that, Kets, you are welcome to share your screen and have at it.
Ha! Thank you. Hold on 1 second. Let me situate my screen so you don't see my other stuff. Where is my slide? Really? Cats? Really? Girl? Hold on. Let me do this and I'll share the whole shebang. And then, oh, there we go. 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 I always hate sharing my slide because my screen always looks a mess, a hot mess. But anyways, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you guys see my screen, right?
Yep, that's perfect. Now it's full screen.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I just kind of want to say welcome to the Getting Started call with New Age. I mean, some of us have been on this road for a while, some have just started. But here's the deal. I always say it's better to start whenever and wherever you are. And this is the time for us to get started and just kind of huddle together. We love these calls because they kind of give us more information. They kind of keep us in the know. We start a business, and oftentimes we want to know what it is that we are supposed to do. We want to know what the culture is. We want to know what are how do we put all our ducks in one row. And like we always say, and I guess everybody who has heard me talk, often they always hear me talk about parachutes. Parachute, they fly better when they are open. I actually want to find out who actually originally came up with that quote so that I don't just make it my own claim. But I love that statement. But the biggest thing really, which is beautiful, is parachutes fly better when they're open. And really today we are, every Wednesday, we really want to help everybody take off like a parachute and really just take to the skies, right? So welcome. And I'm just gonna go right into it, right? So I don't know. You know what, Andrea, I know you kind of want to be our tech person today, but I kind of want you, because I think I love your perspective on the why. If we could talk about, just share with our team today why it is important as the very first the very first mindset, the very first thing that we are to do in this business. Why is it important for us to define our why?
Oh my goodness, you let me talk. This is a can of worms for me. I love this topic for a variety of reasons. And the number one reason I'm going to encourage strongly everyone to lean into what is making you want to do this business. And really, because you have a business now, and not all of us, many of us, were not taught to grow businesses. So you're going to have to lean in to understand something that is maybe not uh, common to you, not something that you're fully like, how do I do it? We were all taught how to go to school. We were all taught how to get good grades, but we weren't all taught how to have a business unless our family was in business already and we got to watch and mirror that. So when we're making that transition from I was a good student and now we have to go into being a business, we have to have a really strong why I want to do this. And so thank you for joining us in this opportunity. And now we want you to stake a claim, put a line in the sand and say, I want this business in my life because. And it could be for anything, but it's something that I want you to think of what will keep me going when it gets hard. What will keep me going when I want to give up? And so many of us, I know for Leanne, she said yes to this business. I'll let her tell her whole story because for her son, right? I said yes to this business because I love the idea of having my own economy and getting paid for my referrals, and then sharing that with other people empowers them to be as unstoppable as I want to be, right? Like that's a huge thing for me. And of course, there is the benefit of I get to make as much money as I want and no one can tell me otherwise. It's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me kind of thing. So I love that foundational thing. So we when we sit down with you in a mentor call, or and everyone should have a mentor call because your mentor needs to know your why too. So you see it says write down your top 3 goals. I want to know your top 3 reasons for doing this business. And we can make goals, we can make strategies. You have a whole team to support you to say, in the first month I need to make this much money, in the 3 months I need to make this much money, in 1 year I want to make this much money. And having those kind of goals, if it's about money, great. Because you know what? Then it's just us teaching you how to work the system to get those goals met. But you are going to need, when people say no to you, and you're going to need something that holds you up and builds you up. When people say, no, that's not going to work, I don't believe anything you're telling me, because they're going to be those people. And so you need to get what, like our lovely Debbie Schneider likes to say, bulletproof to your vision and you know your why statement, so that you can just weather that and say, okay, see you later. you know you're gonna wish you had been here with me from the beginning. And you'll be like, I showed you. I mean, you're invite everybody. It's not for
Yeah.
everybody. The time you say, hey, come on over, and you've got to be unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable to the fact that everyone has to come to this in their own time. Just like all of you can come to this for us as your leaders in your own time. Because maybe in the beginning, all you want to make is, I don't know, what's an extra $100 US a week. If that's what your beginning goal is, great. But then if you come to us and say, you know what, I've been here 6 months, I'm ready to make $2,000 a week. Well, we're like, okay, we got to change your game plan. Let's get cracking and be ready to do the work. So
Yeah.
I told you I'm sorry. I love this statement because this is what's going to fuel you. So I hope that is
Absolutely.
enough.
Thank you so much. And you're right. Our why makes us unstoppable. And one thing that I've really learned, especially, well, throughout the years, but since I partnered with this amazing company, is just the no understanding that when you have that why, it really fuels you to keep going, because you'll have the high moments, you'll have the low moments. Your why keeps you during those low moments. In life, in anything we do, we always have to remember that there's always a time of prosperity, there's always a time of adversity, there's always a time of plateau. So sometimes you're gonna hit, in prosperity, everything is great. We don't think about the chat, everything that's going on in the world whenever we're succeeding. But every time when you hit that adversity and you feel like, oh my gosh, the going is tough. This going is tough, you sometimes you want to quit. But when you have a strong why you've come to this opportunity and what in your life it is that you want to change, it absolutely helps you keep going. When you reach a plateau, especially if, say, you want to lose weight, I just kind of want to, put the money aspect thing outside. Maybe your goal is, hey, you know what, I want to lose weight, and in the first month I want to lose this much and get my health better. Because I know some of the people who have talked to and who have said yes to this opportunity. They said, hey, you know what, I have a tall order from my doctor that I have to release some weight for my health. And the thing is, you tell yourself, in the next 1 month, 30 days, I want to at least reach this much. In the next 3 months, I want to have reached this much. And in the 12 months, I want to have reached this much, because your health is absolutely important. And if that's a goal, put it down, and that will fuel you to keep going. And let me tell you what, there's nothing that is more thrilling than when you know that the reason behind why you do something, nobody can ever deter you from that. So during those times of adversity or those plateau moments, you're not going to give up because you have a bigger goal on the other side. All right. So I really love that. Thank you so much, Andrea, for kind of like kickstarting that for us. Now, the next slide that I will get into my computer. Okay, cool. I kind of want us to talk about our blueprint. So you've partnered with us. We're starting this journey, and really, what is our everyday mode of operation, if I may? What is our blueprint for success? How do I continue to do this every single day, and how do I show up? And what's that what's that blueprint that I have to follow? So we this I've basically put this together on the basis of what I've learned, even in my years on my journey of doing network marketing. And the principles are pretty much the same. They are very, very the same. But in terms of how we do those, or we carry those principles, it might differ from organization to organization. But I just kind of want you to put ochtlaps. I think as in Africa, we'll understand when somebody says ochtlap, as in you are like you have a tunnel vision and you don't want anything else to deter you from that. We go with the acronym IC, which is invite, share, enroll, educate, and you repeat. That cycle keeps going. You invite, you share, you enroll, you educate. And I love the fact that today we are doing the education part, all right? And this is why we love everybody jumping on the getting started calls, because it keeps us all in the know. It keeps us all huddled together. And we always know that when you stay close to the fire, you will never go cold, all right? Now, I just kind of want us to get into each aspect of our blueprint, our acronym, our IC, and then we're going to double click on the invite, okay? Leanne, I don't know, I know we didn't talk about this, but would you want to just kind of get a little bit into just the social media aspect? But I will also get into the 4-part process that we kind of follow, that we've learned from a lady called Sonia. And this is such a beautiful bulletproof invite process in terms of getting somebody, giving them your attention. But Leanne, tell me, in terms of talking online and offline, what is your take as far as how we do this business? And I know you've done so well, especially I know, I mean, on LinkedIn, you do it so well. How do you position yourself as far as getting somebody's attention and getting them to come see what you have?
Well, we went in it in a different way. Cheryl and I went in specifically looking at people that were interested in finding a business. So we posted a specific type of job spec, a free job post on LinkedIn, to be able to get people that were looking for some sort of other way of creating an income. And we've managed to be able to pick up quite a few people that way. I know her and I have just recently started to change gear as to how we communicate with those particular people. In that once they've actually responded to that particular ad, we're starting to have a conversation with them before we actually bring them into a presentation. And it is certainly helping, because you're actually getting to know the person, understanding what their thought process is, and where they are currently at that particular time in their careers and in their lives, to be able to tap into that type of their current situation and pull them into the business that way.
Absolutely. That's great. Thank you so much. And I think the biggest aspect that we have to realize is that your greatest asset when you come into this business, it's your connections. Your greatest asset is the connections you have, and you become the connector. And when you are the connector, that means you connect somebody with like you have your contacts, you have people that you follow on social media, you have people that are on your phone, that you call, that you text, people from your school, people from your community, your church, whatever. you have people in your circles, right? And those are people that you are acquainted with, and some of them are your best buddies, some of them are, like we always talk about the warm market and the cold market, right? The warm market being people that you really know very well. You can take a phone and call them or text them and it's not awkward. The cold market is those people that kind of like Leanne is talking about. You meet them on platforms like LinkedIn. You didn't know them before, engaging with them on such platforms, but you build a connection with those people. So your greatest asset is your connections. And sometimes we burn our phones. As in like we run out of people, or we think we run out of people that we can talk to. So we've basically been taught that you can never really run out of people that you can talk to. But the invite aspect of our blueprint is the most critical one, because you have to connect the people, bring them to the message, and let the message be communicated, or them being exposed to the message by somebody else. All right. And sometimes you might be that person because you've grown enough to be that person who's doing a presentation, because we all do it together. But I think when you start, just know that the burden is not on you to present. Your burden, if I may, I don't even want to use that word burden, but your task, your biggest task, really something that you have to get good at, is inviting. That's the biggest task, because if people don't come in front of the message, you don't have any message to sell. You don't have anything to expose. So we do online and we do offline. And when we talk online, we talk about the platforms like Facebook, what's that, like our social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. A lot of people are on WhatsApp, and I know people use WhatsApp stories to kind of like, get their audience, clued into them. But I just kind of want to talk about Facebook, especially because Facebook is where a lot of us are, right? And Facebook it seems to be a little bit more easier in terms of, building engagement and for people who don't even have much of social media skills to hold on, I just kind of want to admit somebody. So bottom line is, we do online, and that's our social media platforms. And with the online connections, we have so many people that we talk to on a daily basis, and there will be trainings on how to utilize your social media to attract the right people, but also position yourself in a way that will get people attracted to you and want to know what is it that you have. All right. And then we have offline. Obviously, offline is people that you call on the phone, or you text, or you meet face to face. But when you have those conversations, we have a process that we've basically been taught in terms of how to get somebody into that conversation of coming to see the information that you have, or building that curiosity to them, seeing if they would be interested to come to know more about what you have. So when you have this conversation, or you're texting this person, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on text, or you're calling this person, or you're talking with this person in person, think of this 4 aspects, okay? When you talk to this person, because also you have to realize that even when you invite a person, like Leanne said, you almost kind of want to know how the person thinks, right? It's all about the person. It's not about you. You put yourself out of the equation. You focus on the person that you are trying to get the audience to, all right? Because their biggest asset is their time. Your biggest asset is them, but their biggest asset is that time, and you want to buy that time, all right? So what do you know about this person, okay? Always put it in at the top of your mind, and kind of reflect that when you talk to this person. What do you like about them, okay? Reflect that. And then how would this opportunity or product benefit their life? And then the last part of your text, if it is a message, you basically say, you ask them $1 million question. Would you be interested to know more about that? Okay. So say I'm talking to, I actually should have thought of this. I should have crafted a text, but I'll kind of speak it out just a little, just to kind of give you guys an example. So I'm talking to my friend Menel, and I want Menel to basically give me her attention, right? Because I need to grab her to see what I have. So for me, I know Menel from church many years ago, right? And I'm gonna basically be like, oh Menel, how are you doing? I am so happy that you are still, you're still very passionate about God, and you're doing so much in the church community. And hey, it's been a long time since we spoke, right? But hey, I was just thinking about you, and I just always think about how you are such a loving grandma to your little grandbabies, and I just love how you always want to provide for them and make sure that their lives are taken care of. And you know what, Manel, I absolutely have been thinking about you because I came across something that is absolutely incredible, and it is changing so many people's lives with their health and as well as their economies. And I wonder if you would you, is it okay, now I kind of jinxed my own flow. I've come across something that is changing so many people's lives, their health and their economy. um and I'm just wondering, would you be interested to know more about that? I might not have done it the best way, but you kind of get the flow, the jinx of the flow of that conversation. I mentioned how I know about them in my text or in my conversation with her. I highlighted what I liked about her, right? And I kind of put together or introduced how what I have I think would benefit them, right? And I was just being generic in this time, but I ended my conversation or my sentence or my statement with her with, would you be interested to know more about that? Okay. Again, I'll do a better job next week. I'll draft a text and just kind of give you a verbatim copy of a text that you can use as an invite. Okay. Does anybody want to add anything on that? Yes, no, we can.
No, I was going to say that's awesome. And it really is that familiar, like doing, especially with warm market, it's that familiar, and
Yeah,
it needs to have that genuineness that you're talking about, because that's what'll get people's attention if it's been a long time since you talked to them. And I wouldn't just rush to say, hey, join me on this call, because that'll turn
yeah,
people away from you. And you really want to go, oh, I didn't know you were into that, or whatever, to get them to come along and see. And so I just want to make sure that you see how simple it is. And they could say no. And you'll be like, great. Well, when new things come up, do I have your permission to keep you informed? And then that way, when you come back, if because no means not now, everybody, it just means not now. It's not the right time per se, unless
yeah.
they're flat out like, no, I'm busy. I'm in another company. I don't want another company. Yeah, and you'll get whatever. You'll get a lot of yeses, but just politely asking. And or the last thing, if they say no, it's not for me, then you ask them, do you know someone for whom this might be a good fit? I would love to be connected with them. And then the people are like, oh, like bypassing me? That gets them both to come. So that is just another way to get people to know about what you're working on. So that was great. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And, guys, when it comes to people that you should or you can invite, again, it can be a warm market, it can be a cold market. And the best thing also that I can give you guys is take a like the good old fashioned ways, take a notebook. And I would advise anybody, regardless of how important your life is, or in community or whatever, some people are too cool for life, but buy a notebook. All right, buy a notebook, a long exercise book, like the school children one, a hard copy, a hardcover with maybe 2 quires or 3 quires, and take all the people that you have, all right, and dump them on that notebook, okay? And now what you're going to do is it's going to give you like it's going to bring them from the phone and it's going to put them onto a place where you can see them, so that every time when you are thinking, who am I going to engage a conversation, get into a conversation with, in order to obviously get them to come see what I have eventually, you at least have them right in front of you and you scratch it up. And here's another thing that I didn't put in the slides. You will also come to learn that we have a CRM tool that you can also utilize, which is online. It's an online CRM tool. It's a customer, what does CRM stand for again, Andrea? It's customer
relationship management.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sis. So we have such a tool that basically helps you kind of track everything online. But before you get onto the CRM, get a notebook, take your phone, take all the contacts that you have, put them on there. Go on Facebook, take all those warm contacts that you have, because it's always easy sometimes to start with your warm market before you go into your cold market. But as you're learning the social media and the social selling skills, it will be easier for you to move from just your warm market and go into the cold market. Okay, but you will be trained and taught how to do that and do it the right way. Okay, so now we have another part of our acronym. We talked about invite, and now we're talking about sharing. So you've invited a person, and now what we also do is we share. We share, like I said, as a connector, you invite your prospects in front of the message to hear the opportunity, right? But also remember, do not be the message. Use your resources, and we have these resources, and we know that every single Tuesday we have our business opportunity call. So you got to invite to that. That's a platform. It's already there. Don't feel the burden of, oh my God, now where do I start? How do I then, because sometimes we try to give too much information, so much that we miss it, because maybe we don't do it the right way, because sometimes people can get to hear the message when it is presented well, when it is communicated with clarity. And our presentations, we've basically structured them to provide clarity and give a person a holistic view of what it is that we're talking about. And sometimes you're just new, you don't have all the information at the tip of your hands. So it's best for you to be like, hey, you know what? I love what Andrea would say. It's like, I'm new. I don't even know, but I know somebody who knows, and come listen, And as simple and as basic as that is, you basically just say, you know what, girl, I am so excited. All I know is that I am literally changing the trajectory of my health. I'm excited about what I've heard. I'm excited about what I'm doing. I don't even know all the information, all the facts, but come. I got my friends, my sister, my tribe who are going to let you know. And just come, listen, Sometimes it's that simple. It literally is that simple, because sometimes the simplicity of what we do, it's difficulty, So use your resources. We have the biz opportunity call, invite, all right? And I always know that the people who invite the most, they win the most. Because if you've invited 10 people, the chances are 5 people might show up, okay? But now if you invite 5 people, chances are 2 people might show up. Now, if you invite 1 person, chances are that person is not going to show up, unless that's a really, really good friend who really, really, really loves you and trusts you, So your business opportunity call, invite to that. It's Zoom every Tuesday, 8 p.m., the same back channel as Andrea says, it's 8 p.m. South African Standard Time. And then obviously, if your friend cannot make it to that call, but they had that commitment with you, but some life happens, right? We always record our opportunity meetings. We always, in fact, all our meetings, we always record them, and we always have them in our Facebook groups. And now, obviously, within our YouTube link, and there's always a link that's shared. So just share the same link with your friend, and then immediately after you've done that, your friend has seen the information, do a three-way phone call, because now with a three-way phone call with your upline member, you basically get to cement and you edify the information that the person has just heard, and it becomes more tangible that, oh, this is not just an internet thing, because sometimes people think things on the internet are not real, because some aren't. So, oh, there's an actual person behind, or there are actual people who are being impacted by this movement, by this opportunity, by this company. Wow, I want to be part of that. So three-way calls are very, very important. So book that with your mentor or your upline, and then get it done. Three-way calls are such a beautiful tool to use to absolutely get people to be more engaged and see the information. And we also have NewAge live events. All right. I know in Africa, we haven't really had a live event that is, local, but with NewAge Global, especially here in North America, sometime last month, we had a live event that was absolutely phenomenal that we went to. It was a beautiful, beautiful training. I met Andrea for the first time, and it feels like we've known each other for like as long as I've been alive. So those are beautiful because events are, they kind of give you even a bigger picture of what you have, but also not only the physical in-person events, we have online events. We have an upcoming event that's coming up that is called Unite. You have to be part of that. And like we always gear everybody, whenever NewAge Africa has a big webinar, be part of those. Those are part of our events, okay? So always take an opportunity to be in the know. Always take the opportunity to be where the fire is. Stay close to the fire. And talking about the fire, we also have our own, within our bigger global tribe. We're part of the Diamond Tribe. And every Saturday for me, it's always 12 noon, but for you guys, it will be, I think, around 7 p.m. It will be, we have a campfire. So with this campfire, you get to hear people's stories. You get to hear people's transformations. Like literally, in fact, the first time I met Leanne was during a campfire call, and she was sharing her story. It was so emotional. I couldn't stop but cry listening to her sharing her story, because I was just like, oh my God, I relate to what she's saying, but I'm so glad that this is such a beautiful company that is changing and impacting people's lives. Literally, Leanne, you didn't know that, but now you know. So those are very important. And you never know if you invite a guest there or you yourself are there, it can actually even build your belief even more, because you have to build beliefs in three areas: the product that we have, the company that we have, and you also have belief. You build belief in yourself. So sometimes you might be the one who has the opportunity to share your story, and your story can actually change somebody's life, So the share aspect is very, very important. Use the resources that we have. Do not sit on a gold mine. All right. So enroll. I don't know. Cheryl, do you want to kind of jump on this one? Why should we enroll, and now that we've enrolled, then what? What's important? What's this big, crazy about BOS? What is BOS? Like, tell me.
So yeah, it's important to get to know the back office, to be able to go onto your own office and work it all out. So when you enroll, you go in there and you put all your details in, and to actually activate your account and to be able to be commission eligible, the first thing you need to do is pick a product pack. There are 4 product packs available. So the first one starts out at just over 627 Rand. That's your very basic member pack. That's a good place to start. But ultimately, we all want to get to ultimate level, which is the 4th option that we have, which is just over 6,000 Rand. And what that does is that gives you product to try for yourself, and it gives you some stock for your shop, for your new business. And you can immediately start recouping that money by selling it. So you're going to buy it at wholesale and you're going to sell it at a retail and make a 30% profit already there. There also are a couple of sample packs there that you can start sharing with people, that they can start just trying out the product, and it's a good way to introduce people to the product. So yeah, get in there, activate your account. And I think it's very important that you look around. The boss gives you a lot more. It's a whole business platform. There's a lot in there. It also gives you an online shop. So there's links on there that you can share with customers. So you can physically buy product, get it delivered to your address, and then exchange that product for hard cash and making that profit. Or you can share your link and get people to buy directly online, where they put their credit card details in, the money goes straight to NewAge, the product gets delivered directly to their address, and you get paid the commission directly into your account weekly. So that's really fantastic. You have an online shop there that you can use. It's important that you go in and have a look at your back office platform that you're getting for free. That back office is for free. It's just the product to activate your account that you obviously need to purchase. And that's with any business, guys. You need to have stock. So look at it like that. That's your stock that you would need to purchase.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cheryl. And you know what? You've activated your account now. You are cooking with gas. Product is on its way. You are having fun. So here's a step 2 that a lot of people actually kind of miss, and it's important for us to know. So once you have opened your business account and you've activated it, right? Now you have to maintain your account so that you stay qualified for your weekly commission. So if your account is not activated, you are not going to qualify for any commission that happened within your organization in that period when you are not active. Okay. Now, how do I maintain my account to stay active? You have to be on the subscription. Okay. So now let's say you've activated with a 6,000 Rand pack, just making a silly example, because you want shares and you want to get the benefits of Ultimate. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to maintain your subscription at 6,000 Rand. But if you're a strategic business person and you're like, okay, I like the direct profit that I'm making because I'm selling directly at retail and I'm making 30%. So I'll keep churning the 6,000 because I'm making more money even selling it direct. So keep doing that. If you can, great. So that's your overhead every single month. But you can also come down to any other business, what's the word I'm looking for? The PV, the personal volume line that you can maintain, because I think if I remember well, in South Africa, your minimum PV required to stay active is about 20 PV every month, right, Leanne?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That is right, yeah. Yeah, it's 20 PV. So whatever you put on your subscription, or as we used to call it, auto ship, you can put, it could be literally just the nighttime or the thermal or whatever, but have a product out there that gives you 20 PVs and you keep getting it every single month. Because when you don't have that recurring auto ship every 4 weeks, that's when the auto ship or the subscription runs. If you are not active in that period and people within your organization are buying, you're not going to make that commission because you're not active. So you need to stay qualified to earn your weekly commission. And then you earn reward dollars as you are buying, because remember, you are directing your spending into your own store, right? And every time you buy, whatever dollar or rand that you spend, you're making it back in points. So you get your reward dollars. And now we also have a loyalty aspect in terms of where you can actually utilize your reward dollars to buy product even at a discounted rate even more, which is absolutely incredible. Okay. And of course, you basically you continue to get the amazing discount. So you subscribe and save. So sometimes you say, okay, I'm getting customers who are not necessarily brand partners, but they just want the product. They don't want to do the business. Great. And encourage your customers, because your customers, they can come in two ways. They can be a one-time customer who purchases a product at retail pricing. It's fine. We like those people. They're great. But you also, if this person sees the value in the product, encourage them to be on subscribe and save, because when they have that subscription, that auto ship, that's coming every 4 weeks, they also get a 15% discount, which is incredible because now they're not buying the product at retail. So that's great. And you want to have those kind of customers who are your return customers. So that subscribe and save, it's very, very important. And that's something that you really want to understand. And as you are building your business, remember that customer retention. You get that 15% discount for them to keep coming and purchasing and getting the product. And the product is good for them anyway. Guys, I am still on they call it my Kool-Aid, but this is my Kool-Aid. I'm on it every single month because it changed my life. I know I'm showing you guys a product that you don't yet have access to right now, but it is exactly what it is. You keep going back for more because it is a lifeline. All right, thank you so much, ladies. So let's talk about enroll. We're almost done. So the enroll part is, now you've invited a person, we've shared the information, the person says, yes, I want this. You basically, they get their BOS, they've gotten their BOS, they let's say maybe it's the person is just it's just a person who wants to be a brand partner. Now we're talking the aspect of team building. No, now when you've enrolled a person, now you're going to have to help them also to do exactly the same thing that you have done. Like I said, you'll get people two kinds. You get people who are customers only. And if it's a customer only, encourage them to get on the subscribe and save because they're not buying at wholesale. Okay. They're not buying at retail. They're getting their own VIP customer discount. Now, you also get brand partners. So as a brand partner, I will encourage you to start thinking of how am I going to build my organization, right? Because it's best to still build with customers, but I want you to also focus on wanting to build other leaders within your organization, people who will build this thing with you and huddle together with you. And enroll your first 4 partners, because we work with the power of 4. Okay. Next week, when we get into when we break down the team building mechanics or the science behind the volumes and the commissions and all of those things, you will basically get a bigger picture and you understand why it's important for you. And this is how we do. We always say we build 4 by 4. So you get your first 4 partners within your first 4 weeks of coming in, right? And then you help your same partners to do exactly the same. So let's just take this scenario for you. So month 1, you get 4 customers, 4 brand partners, right? And then month 2, you help your 4 customers or your 4 brand partners to get their 4. So 4 times 4 is what? 16. You have 16 people within your organization who are helping you, and you guys are helping each other to impact your communities to make healthier choices. And then month 3, you help those 4 people who've had their 4 to get their 4. So 16 times 4 is what? It's 64. And you have by month 3, you have about 64 people within your organization. And guys, whether we want to admit it or not, that's money in the bank for you, because that basically means you have a thriving business that is growing. Okay. You have a thriving business that is growing. I don't know if Andrea, you want to just kind of say something on that before we kind of wrap up on the educate aspect.
Yeah. So this is foundational. This is what we train on day in, day out. This is your mentor meeting will be centered around this game
Yeah.
plan. In particular, if you're wanting to build a large organization, we all do it in this 4x4 pattern around the globe. It's the universal pattern. I think even our pay plan was sort of structured so that the 4x4 is maximized in this way.
Yeah.
We are the last, the IC has an educate, which is the next slide.
Yeah.
We are going to conclude on this slide today because this is just like the big picture.
Yeah.
We need you to drop in the chat what you need to know most so that this training time is truly set up for you to hear what we think works and then also what's working where you are and might need to be tweaked where you are. So Tuesday, the educate is simple. You have the inviting of people, you get them to take a look, you share, then you enroll them as either a customer or brand partner, and then the education happens in this group format, so that one, they get to come to the getting started calls if they're a brand partner to understand how to start thinking about their business and paint their picture, their big why and things like that. The members area is a team website. I'm not sure I follow what that is, Ketsia. Is that for Facebook and the Facebook groups, or are you talking about your team heart has a team area that you invite people
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, we do. And I think, well, that's a conversation that I think we'll double click on with Meredith, as
Okay.
I thought you guys already are building the same, or we're going to loop into the
Well,
same.
it's
Yeah.
ultimately we're going to get there, but for now, at least
Yeah.
for us, we really are plugging people into Zoom, Facebook groups, and we're going to have an ongoing place where you can see everything on YouTube, depending on what's easiest and in
Yeah.
terms of your structure to access the information. And then NewAge Africa has tons of training events and a unique Facebook page so that you can stay plugged in and informed as we go along. And I want everyone to know this is the 300,000 feet view of how to do this business. We can get very granular in terms of how you're going to particularly do that. And that's going to be set up for you in your mentor meeting. I strongly encourage you to take what you've seen here and ask questions that are salient to you in your member meetings with your uplines. Ketsia, me, Meredith, Cheryl, Leanne, we are here to help you do that. And so know that we don't expect you to be in all social media. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share I think you should focus on one at first and get really good at it. Like Leanne does LinkedIn and nothing else. Cheryl does a little bit of LinkedIn and a little bit of Facebook, so understand that everyone will pick where they are actually doing their work anyway, or where they're communicating out anyway, where they are. Your resources to get the message out are Tuesdays and this Wednesday call. Your training is done by us and your presentations are done on Tuesday by us. And as you guys have more experiences, you will be part of the presentation because you can give testimonials because you're taking the product. The goal is to not hear from me. The goal is to hear from you guys in Lesotho and South Africa because you're talking to people in Lesotho and South Africa primarily. You get the additional resource of being part of a huge organization because of Debbie Schneider that plugs you into North America. We can get you plugged into other countries. Just let us know, and then you can find where your people in those other countries. So Facebook groups are really key for that. So please understand there's a lot, and you're not supposed to get it in a day. As a matter of fact, you're not supposed to get it for a whole year, is the way I look at it. You get competent by doing, though, and we need you to engage so that you can gain that competency. So with that, I'm going to thank Ketsia. Thank you so much for making this presentation and for putting us all in the right direction. I think you need to stop sharing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I can't stop sharing. I'm like, oh, it's not me. And so for the different teams, you definitely plug in Leanne and Cheryl's teams, plug in with them and get them get yourself situated with them. Everyone's free to book on in our New Age Africa Thrive Tribe, and they have, I think you guys have used the Diamond Tribe. Plug in and raise your hand. We're all here to be life rafts for each other and to help you grow and expand as fast and as big as you want, whenever you want. So with that, I thank Leanne, Cheryl, Ketsia for being here and commenting and lending their wisdom, and we'll see you next week. So
Thank
with
you.
that, thank you.